In this video, we're going to look at a couple of lender activities that you do occasionally. Primarily, we're going to look at cancel requested, renewal requested, and how VDX handles overdue loaned items. Let's look at cancel requested first. Items that libraries have sent to you requesting cancellation of the loan will queue under cancel requested on your work queue. Keep an eye to see if there's a number there that you need to deal with. We're going to go into the first one, and basically you're going to need to send a response of cancel reply yes or cancel reply no, confirming or acknowledging that you have received the request to cancel. The only reason not to say cancel reply yes is if you have already sent the item. So maybe it went out on courier this morning and then this came in afterwards. So 99% of the time you're saying cancel reply yes. So you just action it accordingly and hit reply, and that will update that one for the borrowing library as confirm that you're aware of their cancellation request. The next thing we're going to look at is renewal requested. So again, keep an eye. If there's a number there, you can go in and deal with those. The library that you've loaned the item to is asking for an extension on the due date that you assigned. You're going to check your ILS to determine if you can extend the loan period, and then either reply with renew answer yes or renew answer no. So I'm just going to do this one with a yes, confirming, and you can put your new due date on it. You'll also see the desired due date. When the library sent you the renewal request, they indicated how much longer they would like to have. And so you can change it to that date if that's agreeable to you. And so you just give them that new due date, hit reply, and then that's updated. I'm going to go back to the results, and I'm going to send a cancel reply or a renewal answer no on the next one. So this would be a case where you aren't willing to renew it any longer for a longer period of time because you have an internal need. So you can confirm or elaborate on that in public note. So you just type a date. And then you just send off that reply, and the borrowing library will receive that in their work queue under renewal denied as opposed to renewal granted. So those two responses are sent. The next thing we're going to look at is overdue items and how VDX automates the processing of something that's in your shipped category with a due date to an overdue status. So the items that you have loaned to other libraries remain queued in your shipped category, and VDX will observe that due date that you've applied to it and add 14 days to it. So after 14 days have passed after the due date, it will update the status automatically and put a record of it down here in your overdue category. Most libraries don't worry about the overdue category so much, but might pay attention to something that's overdue greater than 4 weeks. So let's have a look at one of those. This first one here, if we go into details, we can see that it was due back on the 23rd of October. And indeed, the borrowing library, VDX has every 2 weeks has upgraded the status to overdue repeatedly in a 14-day cycle since the due date. So you might want to pursue or nudge the borrowing library on this one. The most common thing to do is to send a public note. So we're going to choose send public note from the action list, and in this public note you simply want to encourage the borrowing library to pursue this with their patron and get it back as quickly as possible. So you might date the note. I happen to have something down here in my Word file, a statement, so I'm just going to copy and paste it instead of freestyle typing. I'm just going to pop that note in there with a copy paste. So basically I've said to the borrowing library, I've dated it, I've given them the due date, and asked them to make an effort to pursue it with their patron and to send you a public note back with an update on the status. Okay, so you might want to take a minute and do a few of those if they're quite long overdue. You might want to spend some effort giving the borrowing library a nudge. And that's it.